Look at photos on your phone today. Crisp, perfectly lit, packed with detail. But 20 years ago, mobile imaging was an entirely different landscape. In 2000, the Sharp JSH04 hit the market as the first camera phone. But with a tiny 0.11 megapixel sensor, the results were blocky and mostly unrecognizable. At the time, it was more of a party trick than a tool. This schematic shows the physical bottleneck. On the left, light passes through a static plastic lens, creating a fixed, blurry focal point. Early camera phones couldn't focus on close-up subjects. To get a sharp image, seen on the right, you need moving glass elements. By 2005, the market demand had changed. Consumers wanted a pocketable phone that could do the job of a standalone digital point-and-shoot camera. This forced an engineering arms race. To shrink professional-grade optics into a cellular handset, the industry split into two distinct design philosophies. Sony Ericsson's strategy relied on a dual-front philosophy. They designed the device so that one side functioned as a phone, while the other side looked and felt like a dedicated digital camera. They used a physical sliding lens cover as a hardware switch. Opening it forced the user to rotate the device horizontally, which automatically launched a dedicated camera interface. The device even borrowed the workflow of professional DSLRs. It featured a two-stage shutter button, allowing you to press halfway to lock your focus and exposure before pressing fully to capture the image. In this internal cutaway, we can see the mechanical autofocus in action. Miniature gears physically move a lens element forward and backward along a track, allowing the phone to lock on to close subjects for sharp macro photography and detailed portraits. Success for Sony Ericsson meant engineering that tactile, camera-like experience within the size constraints of a traditional compact phone. Nokia took the opposite approach for their N90. Instead of maintaining a compact shape, they used a multi-hinge design to accommodate much larger, more powerful optics. This transformer chassis allowed the screen to swivel 270 degrees. It effectively turned the phone into a handheld camcorder, making it easy to film from high or low angles. To prove the device's capabilities, Nokia partnered with Carl Zeiss. Putting a world-class optics brand on the barrel signaled to users that this was a serious photographic tool. The Zeiss Tessar optics provided a functional edge. This glass allowed more light to reach the sensor, while reducing the color fringing, or chromatic aberration, common in the cheap plastic lenses of the time. Nokia's approach showed that reaching professional-grade imaging required a total reimagining of what a phone looked like. Better sensors created a new problem: storage. 2-megapixel JPEG files were too large for internal memory, so users had to rely on external solutions, like memory stick duos and RSMMC cards to save their work. Manufacturers addressed lighting limitations with modular hardware. This magazine snippet shows the MXE60 attachable xenon flash, providing more power than built-in LEDs. Connectivity was the final piece. Using Bluetooth, users transmitted images directly to a TV or wireless printer, bypassing the PC altogether. This enabled early digital-to-physical pipelines. You could snap a vacation photo, send it to a lab, and have a postcard mailed. With these accessories and sharing options, the camera phone had finally become a complete standalone photographic workflow. Historically, sharing a memory involved significant latency. You finished a roll of film, took it to a lab, and mailed the physical prints. Even a simple postcard, like this one from 1985, meant friends only saw your experiences weeks after the event ended. The innovations of 2005 collapsed that timeline. Early mo-blogging platforms allowed users to capture high-res images and publish them to the web almost instantly, straight from the device. This era left a lasting mark on photographic culture. Today, enthusiasts in communities like Reddit still hunt for the Sony Ericsson K750i, specifically for the unique visual artifacts produced by its early CMOS sensor. By the end of 2005, the fusion of moving glass, instant connectivity, and specialized interfaces had reached a critical mass. Carrying a mobile phone now meant carrying a